Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Monday Morning Yo-Yo. I am your host, G2 Jake, and we're going to have a little update on what G2 did last week, what we plan to do this week. Not a lot of outside news in the yo-yo world that I haven't mentioned. We've got the online World Yo-Yo Contest happening this year. We don't have dates for next year's in-person World Yo-Yo Contest, but I did see that if you win the online World Yo-Yo Contest, you are going to be covered for the next year's World Yo-Yo Contest flight and hotel stay. So that'll be cool. If you are that's a good way to get the top competitors to give this online Yo-Yo Contest a go, because it's very, very different versus an in-person contest, just because of it's kind of like film it until whenever, you know what I mean? So there's tricks that you can do that you wouldn't normally do in a contest on stage. And then that's just the whole stage element comes in huge to competitive play as well. That is not part of the World Yo-Yo Contest online this year, but you do what you can do. So give it a go if you are a competitor. I wasn't going to talk about that today, but now we did. So anyways, last week was the week of trying to get these out and work on some anodizing for the titanium proto tritons. That kind of get transferred to this week. I know most of the anodizing will most likely be done Wednesday this week. That's when the kids are out of the house. I don't like messing with the chemicals while the kids are here. But we should be able to get the Patreon orders finalized today. We're about halfway through. Last week, our work days got eaten up. Just kid stuff that happens. If you got kids, you know. So it's kind of like if I had a normal job, I called off sick and couldn't get my tasks done. Usually that doesn't happen here. I find a way to make it happen anyways, and I just didn't work out last week to follow through with what we had planned to do. So that's where we are this week. I apologize for that. There's a little bit of delay on those things, and so sorry. This week, besides those two things, if we have enough time, we'll have a drop. I'm not going to tell you what it is just because it is like 50-50 on if we're going to have time to get to it. We'll see how well today goes. You guys will find out tomorrow how well today goes for the Patreon shipment and for progress towards a drop. So that's what we have this week. That's what we did last week. That's a little bit of the update on the world stuff. I've got to look more into it. I did get this. I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. We're not going to sponsor it because the pricing to sponsor it is just too high for us. We'd rather spread it out to some smaller contests. And you guys know about the concert in Pennsylvania we're sponsoring. But that's where we're at right now with that as well. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place. Same time. Since I am finalizing those Patreon shipments today, if you're on Patreon, make sure you're ready for the sign up for the extras. That would most likely be today, this afternoon, or this evening. If anything doesn't all get claimed by the Patreon backers, that's any level can claim towards these, the heart or shirt tier. They are going to get their first dibs. That's part of their package at that level. But then there's the $10 tier that does get to execute dibs on the Patreon page before they make their way to the G2 Nation Facebook page or the website, depending on how many are left. Most likely, I think most of them are going to be claimed on Patreon. So if you're there, make sure you watch for that post. And if there's any extras, we'll send it to the official G2 Nation page. If for some reason we got a bunch, we'll make it a drop on the website.